I have to stop going back to you. Back to you. Back to you. Back to you. I have to stop going back to you. Back to you. Back to you. Back to you. To you, to you, to you, back to you. I have to stop going back to you, to you, to you, back to you. I have to stop going back to you, to you, to you, back to you. I have to stop going back to you, to you, to you, back to you. I have to stop going back to you. 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 I have to start going back.
Powered by AMD 3rd Gen Ryzen processors, the ROG Strix B550F gaming Wi-Fi provides first-class gaming features and style. The B550F Wi-Fi features a robust 12+2 DR-MOS-teamed Power Stage VRM design with high-quality alloy chokes and durable capacitors to provide reliable power for the latest high-core count AMD CPUs. Fanless VRM and chipset heatsinks with our StatCool 3+ design keep your system running reliably under heavy load by enhancing passive cooling capacity for critical onboard components. For the best gaming connectivity, you get Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1, and 2.5 gigabit LAN with Asus LAN Guard. You also get dual M.2 NVMe SSD slots, one with PCIe 4.0x4 connectivity, plus a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C port and Thunderbolt 3 header. Our pre-mounted I/O shield makes installation a breeze, and with USB BIOS flashback technology, your system's firmware can be updated for next-gen CPUs using nothing more than a PSU and a USB flash drive. A pristine Supreme FX S1220A codec with DTS Sound Unbound and Sonic Studio 3 draws you deeper into the action. Communicate clearly with Asus AI noise-canceling mic technology. Asus exclusive AuraSync RGB lighting, including 2 RGB headers plus 1 Gen 2 addressable RGB header, let you make your PC's lighting uniquely yours. ROG Strix motherboards undergo an extensive certification program to ensure the very best compatibility with the widest range of components and devices. For a smooth build process, refer to our list of guaranteed compatible components. Ascend to next gen with the ROG Strix B550F gaming Wi-Fi.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's been a hot minute since we've been able to continue our third season of 2021, but we are back and ready as ever for HSL Season 3, Week 2 on a technicality, but these are still going to be our Week 2 matches, as once again we're coming at you bringing 2 more best-of-5 series from some of the best high school, or, well, Rocket League playing high schools, I should say, that the beautiful state of Queensland and some other outside of the state guests have to offer. It's going to be a fun day for sure. I know I've missed it. I'm excited to be back, and I'm excited to get into that action as soon as possible. But before we get into it, first of all, we do have some sponsors that I would like to thank for helping keep this event running as smoothly and as great as possible. It's wonderful to have these sponsors. Of course, as always, it is XP Esports for providing this live at the gaming ground, or the gamers ground, sorry, I should say, TGG. That's what the cool kids are saying these days. But yes, no, here live at TGG right now. It's great to be back here as well. So if you are in or around the University of Queensland area and want to get involved and want to come see what's happening, of course, you are free to come by and check out some of these wonderful facilities. Furthermore, a big thank you as well to ZQ Racing and the ZQ Racing chairs. Always get to sit in one of these bad boys. Always a fun time. But the big one is EPOS being our official prize providers for this season. It's fantastic to see them coming along, getting involved. Going to be super excited to see what they're going to be able, to show continued support. I mean, I'm sure they're really excited to be back on schedule. We're excited to see, these students compete for some of those marvelous prizes they are providing. And, of course, our technology provider coming from the Computer Alliance as well. A big thank you to them. Asus, ROG, Intel, and Cooler Master. So a big thank you to all of our sponsors as, well, again, without which we wouldn't be able to keep on participating in some of the best high school esports out there that we can. And speaking of some of the best high school esports, let's take another look at sort of the teams who are participating right now in our third season of 2021. So if we take a look, we can see we have separated into not 2, not 3, but 4 conferences for the first time ever here at XP. Conference A, the BBC Speedy Boys, SEC Wolfpack, ATC Irish Warriors 1, the Lakers Legends, TC Red, and OC Red. Kind of poised to be that premier division, with Conference B right beside them. And again, BBC Dappy, who we are going to be seeing in our first match. The Ripley Raptors, TC Blue, the Marston Makos Maroon, who we are also going to be seeing in the first match. Mansfield Rocket League, as well as the Craigsley Conquerors. Then, Conference C, Canterbury Taipans, Craigsley Conquerors, Unity United, OC Blue, and the Marston Makos Black. And last but not least, Conference D, of course, consisting of the Maryborough Madness, ATC Irish Warriors 2, St. Peter's Lutheran College, TSS Cyber Sharks, and the Canterbury Taipans 2. So, a lot of schools competing, 22 to be exact, and well, at the end of all, there's only going to be one champion as we get ready for our 2 matches for today. As mentioned before, we're going to be starting off with BBC Dappy taking on the Marsden Makos Maroons. That's going to be starting in just a few moments. Following that as well, we are going to be heading to Conference A, where we're going to be seeing TLC, the Lakers Legends, taking on the SEC Wolfpack. And that's going to be another exciting series that you're not going to want to miss. Again, 2 best-of-5 series right around the door, and I think it's about time we kick these matches off. BBC Dappy, the Brisbane Boys College taking on Marsden Makos 2, Queensland Universities. The players are jumping onto the pitch right now. It will be the blue side of Dappy, the orange side, or I guess it's going to be the maroon side unofficially today, are going to be in, well, the orange side of the pitch right now as we are off and underway. Already a bit of pressure coming initially from the Marsden Makos, as I'm going to do a quick little run through of these rosters. As we see from BBC, you have Niche God, as well as That's Dogwater YouTube and Superior Rocket League. For this side of the Marsden Makos, it is Awunga, Howe, and Jezza. So we'll be seeing how these players are going to be able to go straight away. We've seen a couple attacks actually come from the Marsden Makos side quite early. They had some kickoff pressure followed by a little bit of that solo play. A nice recovery by Niche God. Unfortunately, wasn't really expecting Awunga to have as much speed as they did. Bumping teammates off to get the boost. Now looking for a play off the ceiling. They go for the pinch. Couldn't quite synergize that correctly. However, the Marsden Makos showing a very high level of play individually right now. I'm really impressed with the car control coming from this orange side. It seems at the moment as if BBC is kind of playing a little bit catch-up right now in terms of the game's tempo. They've been pushed further and further back for some of these initial touches, and unless they can find that booming clear, this could be a very elegantly put slow push coming from the Marsden Makos side. And by that I mean Each time they touch the ball, they're kind of encroaching further and further into BBC space. Eventually, we did see a bit more of that clear, but here comes Jazzy, who has a chance, one defender to beat, but can't quite get it past Superior Rocket League. Instead, we are going to see a play across the middle now. Finally, that space actually being given by the Marsden Makos. Let's see what they can do on defense. That's a scary look, but no! Niche God actually was able to find that angle for a brief moment. It looked like it was going to go off the post and not quite in as we see this one again. Oh, my goodness. Niche God just barely able to get there in time and find that angle. It doesn't get much more tight than that. A fantastic little goal for the BBC side, and I'm a little bit surprised they got the opening goal considering how the tempo was being played out for our first minute and a half. See how this orange side handles under the pressure right now, because Nitgod is already back on the attack, having a look from underneath the ball. It will be taken high by Owunga, who's going to go for a reset over the top. It's not quite accurate enough for the goal, but it is open, and you've got a shot coming from Hal. It's not going to go in. Jazzy puts another one towards the net, but Superior rotating back will be able to clear it out to the corner. A very nice looking reset right there. A bit unfortunate it doesn't turn into a goal for the Marsden Makos, who again, mechanically, the Makos are looking like the better team. They just haven't been able to realistically crack this BBC defense, and you got to give credit to the blue side in their defensive efforts we've seen thus far. If they are able to find one more counterattack, if they can find that second goal, I think they'll be a lot more comfortable. Perhaps they'll get it right here. Superior try. Didn't quite get that touch across the middle that Marsden may have been looking for. Jezza, though, with a chance. That's such an accurate shot. And you better believe there's some power behind that one as well. 120 KPH. An absolute boomtown play right there as Jezza is going to go ahead, get an equalizing goal as we move to the halfway point of our first series. A lot of pressure going to be put down now, I imagine, by the Marsden Makos. Thing about Sharks is when they smell blood in the water, they're just going to keep striking and striking until they finish their opponents off. And I would like to see that kind of approach come from the Makos right now. Again, I still feel like mechanically they've been looking like a very superior team, even though Superior happens to be playing for the other side. Hal going for a musty off the backboard for the clear. Didn't quite get the touch they were looking for, but it's these little plays like that, these little hints that the Makos, they know they're on stream. They know this is their chance to kind of show off what they can do realistically, and they're trying to take advantage of that. Perhaps a little bit of cleaner play, though, can avoid situations like this. Nearly able to capitalize was BBC, and that would have been a cheeky second goal for them. Nick God is going to try to throw it to the side. I actually imagine he was trying to bang that one down the pitch, but didn't quite get the angle they were looking for. It's Hal going to go for the reset yet again, but it turns into a teammate stealing it away. I think Hal had the reset, but the team a little bit too eager to make the play. Actually kind of gets in the way of what could have been a bit of a highlight. And I do like how every single time we watch the Makos make one of these little missteps, BBC is there, looking to press forward, looking to punish. A very interesting game thus far. Superior is going to have a little knock. Gets that ball off that backboard where it will be read by Owunga, who now with some space to work with is going to try to find the pass to Hal. Hal was a little bit too eager once more and kind of got too far in front of the play, and now we're going to see BBC with a chance perhaps. Jezza, though, with the shot up to Owunga. The redirect will put it in. A nice pass and touch. Wasn't the most powerful play, but as we watch right here, you can see Owunga just staying behind the defenders. Actually got the dunk on Superior, who was trying to clear it to the side. Very well played by the Marsden Makos right there. Pretty high-level play, actually. And a very high-level read. So, good start and good continuation from the Marsden Makos, who did give up that opening goal. But now in the lead, it's going to be up to BBC to finally respond. What can Dappy do? They're going to have to fall back to midfield. Dappy Doo sounds like a rejected Scooby-Doo character. I'm going to avoid using that phrase in the future. Another reset attempt. Not quite able to get to the backboard right there. Owunga now looking to get that pass up to Jezza. It was a tight angle, but I actually feel like Jezza would have had it had we not seen that Superior defense once again. Out of Superior, no doubt. Jezza can't make the read off the wall, but that's okay. Owunga was underneath. Holding into the corner, though, is Superior. Only 30 seconds to go. One, maybe two more attacks left. I like the demo play, but there was no follow-up across that middle of the field. So BBC, they're going to find themselves back on that blue side of the pitch, but the ball is behind two defenders. Owunga, though, from that third-man position, actually presses it forward. Shot saved by the teammate. Oh, boy, that was actually a very scary situation right there. As we see another play on the net. Doesn't go in. Owunga is just going to push it to the corner. And that will allow the ball to hit the ground. Marsden Makos take game number one. I have to say, quite confidently as well. Don't let that scoreline fool you. Let the shots tell the story in that. 12 shots from the Marston Makos compared to only 4 from BBC Dappy, who did have some opportunities, and I will once again give credit to the Dappy side. When those opportunities were presented, they went for it. It wasn't like this was a team that was scared to try and make the plays. The Marston Makos just mechanically did feel like they were playing at a little bit of a higher level. So, moving forward right now, what I do want to see from, in this case, BBC Dappy is honestly stay to part of the course right now. I feel like they're doing a good job in a lot of ways of keeping that attack at bay and waiting for some of those late touches, and we have seen those openings. I mean, they did get that opening goal. So, if they can sort of stick to their game plan, I think they still might find more of those openings, and hopefully for them, fortune will turn. Meanwhile, for the Marston Makos, as we should head back to the pitch right now, as the next game has started, what I want to be seeing from the Marston Makos, I suppose, is perhaps a little bit more consistency, and just taking the plays that are given to them. There has been openings as well, and when we've seen those openings, the Makos have kind of gone, or at least attempted to get a bit of flashy, and it didn't really work out. Whoa! Two-man save right there. Awuga gets credit for it. Another near save. This time it's Howell. Just over the top of Awuga right there, having to come through for the save. And this is why I feel like the Makos can't afford to really ease up too much. BBC Dappy, they can put that pressure on if given the space, particularly when they're on that attacking half. It does feel like they strike quickly. They're not the team to set up long offensive plays. They're not the team to try to, rotate through that midfield. It seems like they are the team that, they're going to see that opening and they're just going to commit for it straight away, which can be dangerous sometimes. However, if your opponents can start to prepare for it, well, that usually is also the kind of style that can lead to counterattacks. So that's something that perhaps BBC might need to have at the back of their mind as we watch right now. Nice little pass up across that middle of the field. I mean, you can compare the setups between the two teams realistically. BBC Dappy, they always go straight for the net. They always try to go straight for the goal. For the Marston Makos, they try to set up their teammates. They try to set up more of an established sort of play and situation. Each of these strategies do have their own merit. Definitely seen more BBC so far, though, in the second game as Nick God off that backboard finds Superior, but puts the shot a little bit high. Follow-up, though, is not going to go in from that was Dogwater. Oh, very unfortunate situation right there for BBC. They had a couple opportunities, just unable to finish the play. And while I did credit their play style in being able to create those types of opportunities, they have to be able to finish them because they're not going to get that many. Not against a team like the Marston Makos, so a bit unfortunate. They'll probably get another chance somewhat soon, though, if they're able to keep this play in the corner. But again, they always send one player forward, keep the two back on defense, looking for those faster counterattack situations. And if that initial push doesn't work, the team does seem to fizzle a bit. Awunga going to dribble it to their own corner. A little bit surprised by that, as we see Superior now looking to punish. And that's got to go in! Another missed open net from BBC from a very odd play. Superior as well. Going to clear it across midfield. Pass back to the opposite corner. As we see Jezza now has to make a bit of a save. Good read off the backboard. Not the cleanest recovery, but job was still done. As Awunga pushes it forward. It's going to be intercepted. Shot. Target. Goal. Nick God finds that opening and is able to strike. And I feel like the Marston Makos perhaps were getting a little bit too slow, I want to say, on defense. They were trying to slow the pace down, it felt like, for the last minute right there. And as that was happening, BBC was just continuing to cheat a little further forward, a little further forward, a little further forward. End result is going to be that goal going in favor of the BBC side. So for the second game in a row, opening goal goes in favor of the blue side. Last time they were not able to hold it, but a bit less time now as we watch Hal going for the dribble again, looking for the reset. Instead, goes for a dribble down below, but puts it right into Superior, who's in the right spot at the right time for the save. Hal, I feel like it's only a matter of time before we see that play come through as we watch Superior clear it to that opposite end. 2 minutes remaining. BBC looking to hold on to tie this series up at one apiece as Awuga off the ceiling gets the touch, but Superior has that read underneath. Hal able to make the save, but Dogwater was waiting. Does it back towards the box. Jezza will collect. Dogwater. Oh, that's a bit of an awkward touch. Fortunately, Nick got back on defense, but here comes Awunga now going for that pinch. A lot of power. A ball bouncing in front of the net. A little bit too high for an immediate play. Hal instead is going to try to read it from that corner. Will be able to push it forward. Sticking with the play. Has boost to work with. Goes for the dunk, but is unable to make contact as we now see Jezza with an attempt through the corner. Going to try and cross up the defense. Misread from Awunga will allow Superior an attempt to clear it through that corner. Till it's intercepted by Hal once more. Dogwater goes for the center play, nearly crosses up Jezza, who instead puts on a shot. Double commit, net's open. Awuga with the chance, throws it back to the middle. No attacker is there. Both Jezza and Hal committed to the side corridor, and that's going to be another missed opportunity. Another flip reset attempt. Hal can't make contact on that next touch as a Rule 1. No, not quite, actually. Dogwater just completely muscles through that Rule 1. Well, I mean, it's only Rule 1 if both cars are of equal strength, I suppose, and it looked like Dogwater was just a little bit more horsepower in that engine. As we see Superior lose out on the duel, Hal tries to follow it up, can only go so far as Awunga puts another one towards the net, nearly got the top right bin. That would have been massive. Only 35 seconds remaining, though. Another shot off the post, and that's a very awkward bounce for Marsden Makos as it's going to roll all the way to the back corner. Jezza from underneath. One touch isn't going to be enough. Let's see what the second can do. Clearing it up the field. And that's going to be a super tight angle. It was an accurate one. Superior has to make the save. Ball off the backboard. Now Superior going to look for that clear. Shut down by Jezza, but another defender should be there. Dogwater centers the play. Nick God playing a bit more defensively. Why not? 10 seconds to go. And Nick God's going to drive it to the orange side of the field. Awunga back to the middle. Not intercepted, but that throws Jezza off, who is going to have 50% boost. Play from the corner. Defender sealing it away. That is Dogwater. Hal had a chance for the shot. Didn't quite put it accurate. It's going to go for the second touch. Keep that ball held up, but you need a third attacker to come through, and it's just not there. BBC Dappy take game number 2. 1-0. This is a fun series. Look, this is one of the better ones. I'm going to say right now, this series is turning into one of the better ones. Two teams with very different styles, but are proving to be more evenly matched than we may have initially thought. Because while I do continue to say I think the Marsden Makos might be mechanically the stronger team, and they do go for these team plays, the tempo, or at least the tempo that we saw in game number 1, was not there in game number 2. They were a lot more reserved, a lot more patient, and I have to give credit to BBC's adaptability. I mean, they kind of had that quick strike play style back in game number 1 as we cut straight into the action in game number 3. The thing is, when we saw the Marsden Makos slowing things down, it kind of played right into BBC's hands, and eventually they were able to get that goal. They might be able to get one here. Late flick up by Hal, though, is going to keep that ball safe. Again, this is a best of 5, so hopefully we could see that game 5 in this series as we watch Nick God clear it across the middle. Hal going to throw it back as well. It's a good pass. Mildly caught by Awuga. Here comes Jezza. Doesn't make that read. Awuga across the middle as well. Looking for Hal now. We'll play from the corner. We got another reset attempt. Hal loves these resets. I don't think I've seen a player go for as many resets as Hal in a series before. Like, outside of, pro play, where I guess everyone kind of goes for resets on occasion, but, like, every time Hal has the ball, it seems to be a reset attempt right now. I don't know if this is a trick this player has learned recently. They were watching some YouTube tutorials and now want to put it to practice. Either way, I am all for it. Like, this is not me being critical because Hal's got a demo game as well. That's going to lead to an Awunga goal. But watch the net on this clear. Awunga has that breakaway. Nick God sitting in the goal, and kablam! Hal just cleaning that one up. Fantastic little play right there. 1-0 lead for the Marsden Makos. Off that kickoff, though, it's going to go in favor of the BBC side. Looking to push it back towards that corner, and demo, a little bit of revenge for Nick God. Got demoed before, now finds that demo onto Jezza. It's not going to turn into a goal just yet as Superior. Going to throw it towards the corner, defensive corner. Hal. A lot of space to work with for both themselves and for Awunga, but not going to turn it into too much pressure yet. And this is what I mean about how the Marsden Makos just sometimes slow down that tempo. And it's very bizarre to me. Like, I don't get why. This team, in theory, should be fast. That's a massive demo. But there's no one to follow it up for the shot. The demo came coming alive right now. Whoa, swing and a miss from not one but two attackers as we watch from underneath. Awunga going to clear across that middle of the field. Nick God, what can you do? Well, you can push it right on back over to Hal, who will look to collect in that corner now, trying to follow through. Hal underneath, one touch, looking for Jezza. Second touch, doesn't find Jezza, but the third touch does run into a bit of disruption. Back across we go. Superior is going to put one up, watching from underneath. Eventually clears it back towards the center, stolen away from Awunga. And now Nick God trying to keep that pressure moving forward. It will get it into the backboard instead of the corner. Leads to an awkward read, a slower play, but not one that BBC is able to capitalize on this time. So all the way back to their own defensive half. This is the strangest game of ping pong we're seeing, because normally when we see ping pong, the ball is elevated and sort of these lob shots, but it's just been these ground rollers going back and forth. And because of the demo game, that has been increasing as time's been going on. It's been harder and harder for like actually these teams to sort of capitalize on this slow back and forth match. Very different game number 3 from our first 2 as another demo, how that time on Dogwater. So many demos, and a lot of them coming from Hal, who I think is just kind of been going on a demo spree in this match, as we see Hal right here. Now is going to be forced to fall back a little bit. Will get themselves underneath that ball. Swing and a miss. Here comes a shot. Not quite. Dogwater has it blocked, as Superior is going to go for the dribble. Late shot saved by Awunga. Now Awunga is going to look to clear it up that other way. Going for the reset. Doesn't quite get it. Instead finds the shot underneath. And that's going to be a 2-0 lead. The largest lead we've seen in the series thus far. And it's going in favor of Marsden Makos. You can see a reset attempt. Didn't quite get it. Had to dodge Jezza, who I believe wanted the pinch. But wound up almost playing an unintentional defender. It doesn't really matter at the end of it all. It's still going to be a goal in favor of the Marsden Makos. As we watch this one play out. Nick God going to hold the ball in place until Awunga presses it forward from underneath, having a look up. Do we see the play through the corner? Perhaps. Superior trying to throw it towards the middle. Doesn't find that second touch. Well read by Jezza. Double commit by the defense. Opens up the net. No one quite there yet for the Makos to capitalize on it. Just a minute and a half remaining. And it's looking like game number 2 is going to go in favor of the Marsden Makos. Sorry, game number 3. Win number 2 for the Marsden Makos. Jezza, no stats to their name realistically in this game. Has been kind of playing that third man for a lot of it. Got a bit of pressure with Nick God, but won't go too far. Hal can't do too much either. As we do see the shot, and Dogwater is going to make this one interesting. 1-goal game with a minute and 4 to go. Hal just unable to make that defensive save right there in the 1v2. Was waiting for that last second before going for the interception, and unfortunately, a bit too much was done by the attacking side. So, very, very nice play. Very, very nice goal, and a much-needed one. Going to make this final minute unique for sure. Dappy, if they can get another goal, we could be seeing our first overtime of the afternoon, perhaps. They're on the attack at the moment from midfield. Shot's going to be saved by Awunga, who then gets bumped off of the play. That said, Jezza's going to be the one with possession. Unable to find the flick on Superior, who's able to dunk it back. Hal awkward in defense. Nick Dodd with a chance right now. Shot, target, goal! And we got ourselves a tie ball game with just 39 seconds left to spare. As we watch this again, you can see Awunga expecting that ball to actually kind of get behind Hal, or at least get pushed into the corner. Was left in an awkward spot on the backboard. Was not going to be able to race it to the play. And now we're looking at a tie ball game. 37 seconds on the clock. Hal clear across the middle, looking for that second touch. Turns into a pinch shot. Not going to go in. Still 30 seconds as Awunga pushes it backwards. Jazzy also loses the challenge. That long's going to go in, and Dogwater takes the lead in the final 24 seconds. There was under a minute and a half in this game, and the score was still 0-2. Now BBC Dappy has the lead and could be poised to go to match point. Fantastic little comeback right now coming from this blue side. Let's see if they're going to be able to finish the job. 22 seconds required. Marsden Makos looking for an equalizer. The net is open, but the shot is high. Jazza put it a little bit off target, and that might cost the Marsden Makos this second game. Now Nick God, he's going to clear it all the way back to the other side. Dappy, a 2-goal cushion with 8 seconds to go. Just secured game number 3. They're going to be going to game number 4. Match point in their favor. Oh my. That has got to be a good feeling. A momentum swinger for sure if you're looking at that Dappy side. And right now for the Marsden Makos, questions on how can they take this series back. They're going to have to be answered again. I would like to see more upfield play. I'd like to see that increase in tempo. I do believe the team has it in them. However, Dappy allowed to dictate the tempo, I'd argue, in both games 2 and 3. And they're able to get that as, we're going to be seeing a car change coming from Awunga. That's going to make things interesting for sure, as we're going to be very curious how will Game 4 play out. I would consider this a little bit of an upset if BBC Dappy is able to hold on. But you have to give credit to how, in particular, Dogwater really approached that latter half of the game. And it's back to their same style. You know, these defensive passes coming from the Makos, they're risky, they're a little bit slow, And sometimes Dappy has been able to capitalize on them. And it's strong pressure, strong midfield play. These are high-risk plays, though, and I don't think that's been accentuated enough. Because a lot of times if you go for some of these sort of deep intercepts, if you miss the ball, you're now a member down, and you're going to be outnumbered when your opponent's attacks. So realistically, what we saw at the end of the game was BBC Dappy doing sort of, the hockey power play type situation where you pull the goalie and go for these high-risk, high-reward type plays, and it paid off for them. We rarely sort of talk about what happens when they don't work out, or unless we see what happens when they don't work out. So it's not like I want to say that BBC Dappy, how do I best put this? Like, they definitely earned that win. They took the risks, and the risks paid off. I don't know if that can happen for another game in a row. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to attempt it, and maybe we'll see fortunes turn around. However, well, misses like that are going to leave for awkward situations. Dogwater doesn't go for the back pass. Instead, lets the ball reach the backboard, courtesy of a shot from Awunga, who has gone for that car swap. Oh, my gosh. What is that? I like the bow flower on top, and I like the shot from Awunga as well. But stylistically, that's a odd choice we see coming out right there. Look, Rocket League style is important to me, and so we'll see if they're able to hold this one on. Still 4:24 on the clock. As you see some play through the quarter, Awunga looking for that pass, or rather that shot. I'm a bit surprised they're taking shots. I'm not surprised to see the bump game come through as Hal. Midfield trying to find Awunga this time. Going to have to follow up themselves, looking for the double touch. Beats out the defenders and will put it in. Very strange play. I mean, Hal, I feel like, did that quite well. You can see right there, just a beautiful read on that double touch. Awunga was there as well, and I'm not quite sure what Awunga's plan was in that kind of position. If you want to be supporting your teammate, I think you need to be a little bit lower and a little bit further back, just based on the angle that Hal was coming from. You would have had a bit more success in that play. Either way, a 1-0 lead for the orange side of the Marston Makos as they are continuing to be very aggressive on the attack. Superior finds that deep clear. And now you see Dogwater having a look, trying to set it up through the corner. Will be easily read with some post defense. Swinging a miss from the first attacker, but it's all to fake. Awunga near breakaway. Superior actually kept that ball far enough in front of Awunga so that Awunga wasn't able to find that second touch. That was a very intelligent play by Superior. Not sure it's going to get him out of danger just yet, though, as Nick God's going to try to bicycle kick it out. Hal maybe got a bit too much on that back pass. Awunga, though, still with possession, is going to try and play it a little further forward right now. And you can see this methodical approach once more coming from the Marston Makos. Eventually does run into Superior in the corner. And now Awunga going to take to the skies, looking for Hal across the middle. No contact made. No intercept, or no pass, I should say, taken. Jessa has to fall back all the way on defense. Now we'll play from the corners. Got some boost to work with. Pass back across the middle to Hal, who overcommits from underneath. So instead of going towards the net, the ball winds up in the corner. Instead, no defenders in place, but Awunga cannot find that angle. Now Dogwater going to look to play across the middle. Hal versus Dogwater. Ball gets kind of grounded, and that's going to lead to Nick Boy follow through. Awunga gets underneath to keep it high. Superior a chance with a shot. Push it towards the corner instead of the net. Dogwater might have a chance. Shot as well, a little bit too tight. Not going to be the accurate plays that they're necessarily needing right now. As eventually Hal will push it back. Another intercept attempt. Superior with a little bit more power could have equalized this game. Still, we're seeing BBC just attacking the net, attacking the backboard, and now attacking a goal perhaps off the post, and then it goes in. Superior is eventually able to follow it through. Tie ball game as we just passed that halfway point. You can see right there, Awunga did everything they could, but Superior sticks with the play, continues to follow it forward, and you got ourselves a tie ball game. One apiece right now between Dappy and the Makos. Again, if we see the Makos lose this game, they might lose the series. It's Dappy going for the series win right now. They're on that back foot. They still need one more goal, and now on the attacking half, they might have the lead. Superior shot saved by Hal at that last possible moment. And we are seeing the Makos defense actually improve. They're getting further back, but they're making more clutch saves. And I do like how they turn it into these pass plays up the field. I honestly do believe if the Makos were just able to find a way to increase the tempo of these plays by a little, like a fraction of an amount, they would be finding so much more success. Because I think, stylistically, I do like the Makos play. No way does that ball eventually go in. Dogwater, off the post, takes the lead. It looked like it was bouncing out. It's a slow and agonizing process. Hal underneath possibly could have gone to that save had the ball dropped a little bit lower. And now 107 seconds on that clock. Pressure for the Makos. They need a goal to tie, 2 to take the lead and take us to a game 5. Do they have it in them? Awunga has a chance to play it across the middle. Going for that dribble play, keeps it up high. Now going to look for the double touch, take it back low, but cannot find contact. The defender on the backboard may have gotten in the way. Now Jazza on defense has to make a miracle save, gets it off the post, and Howell will follow it through. Good attempt from Dogwater, but it leads to a double commit on the counterattack, a double commit on defense as well, as play is starting to break down from both sides. Desperation time, panic mechanics, whatever you want to call it. Whoever is that clutch gene in them might be able to come up big right here. Pass back towards the goal. Going to be saved out as we watch Dogwater again, throwing it to the middle. Howell sees it opening, going to go for that interception shot, looking for the second, but is unable to find the spike. However, Awunga will get it, and now we got a tie game with just under a minute to go. We watch that one again. Yeah, Awunga, right place, right time, played that patient game, got that goal. Fantastic stuff. Here we go. Under a minute of play. Essentially golden goal situation, and it's off the kickoff. Awunga again finds a lobber, and that could be the goal that takes us to game 5. Just wins the 50-50 against Dogwater. Oh, a disaster for Dappy, who ironically kind of put Marsden through this in the game prior. Now watching their own lead collapse in the final minute. Can they get another equalizing goal through? There is time on that clock, but on the defensive half after the kickoff, it's another unforced error on defense. And with a 2-goal lead, it looks like the Makos will be taking us now to game number 5. Just another lob shot that both Nick God as well as Dogwater were unable to read. My goodness. Painful. Painful turn of events for Dappy, but for the Makos, that is 3 goals in the last minute of play to get themselves a lead and a bit of a cushion as well. You'd have to think they're going to be taking this game now in this position, taking us to that game number 5. Oh, what an opening series for today. This has just been a fun one as we see Dogwater from underneath having a look, but doesn't fully commit forward. Instead, we see Superior go high, swing and a miss. Dogwater as well, through that corner as well, gets challenged, loses out, play back across the middle. Superior going to stay with it. Howell tries to make that read, gets 1 touch, now looking to play towards that corner. Not going to find another goal, or definitely not going to find 2 goals in this situation. Marsden Makos take game number 4. And they do it, getting 4 goals on the board themselves. Nearly found a 5th actually at the very end right there. So this is turning into a very, very, very intense series from both of these teams. I'm very impressed with how each of them have been performing thus far. I do like how towards the end we saw a little bit more of that aggressive edge. In fact, those last 3 goals, I would argue, taken by the Marsden Makos were when they actually took those strikes and they weren't going for the more slower, drawn-out pass plays. It's when they straight up attacked the net, very similar to how BBC had been playing. And that is a promising sign because it does tell me that Marsden Makos are able to adapt. They do have a bit of speed to them. Again, we saw the mechanics in the early games. Now we're seeing that aggression as well. And that is a dangerous mix when you get aggression as well as mechanics. That typically can win you a lot of games. And you know they have the team play there as well. They just sort of need, I guess, a little bit more tempo in it. And then we start looking at what could be a very complete team. Meanwhile, for BBC Dappy, they've shown the aggression, but now it's being matched. And that's why I'm a little bit concerned whether or not they're going to be able to sort of keep up with that level of play that we're seeing from Marsden Makos. I said from the start, mechanics might be the difference in this match, and we'll see if that's going to be able to play through. Not to mention those unforced errors we saw at the end of that last game. You cannot afford to be making those now, as we are in that Game 5 situation. Ball already on that blue side of the pitch. Marsden Makos looking for the go-ahead goal. Howell playing it through the corner, now looking for a pass back. A chance from Awunga. Decides not to take it right away. Causes one defender to bite. Eventually, we're going to see it back into that corner. Howell, back pass, looking for Jezza. Not able to find him. Awunga, though, will play forward. Jezza from underneath. Shot, not on target, and Awunga will make the save. Here we go. Howell, again in that corner, shut down by Dogwater. Only making a little bit, a marginal amount of ground before we see Jazza now start to play a bit further forward. Nick God loses out on the challenge to Awunga, actually, who should stay with this play. Gets the touch. No teammate from above, though, so Dogwater still gets the clear they were looking for. Really well done by Dogwater. As we watch Hal going back for Musties. Tries to pinch it off a defender. Gets a demo as well. I want to see more of Hal. I want to see Hal be given more opportunities because this player has absolutely been impressing me mechanically. Just been unable to finish some of these plays off. But every time Hal is put in one of these positions, just taking so much pressure and putting it right on the BBC Dappy side. And I'm a little bit surprised that the Makos haven't been able to capitalize on it as well as they possibly could be. But Hal got the second touch! Oh, it was accurate, but the save was made. And I also, at the same time, though, am unsure and have to give so much credit as a result to how BBC Dappy has been able to sort of defend against a lot of these Hal plays. As we now watch Awunga. Has a chance, going for a double touch perhaps. The defender, though, Dogwater, able to stop it before it gets there. 2 minutes in to our game number 5. Still no goal. Hello, Mr. Inver. How you doing? How? Looking for a shot. I probably just got your name wrong. I do apologize. That's right. I can see Twitch chat, and we can have a fun little chat. Hal, off that backboard. Opening perhaps for Jezza. Off the backboard. Do we see the play from Hal? Not quite. And now Jezza's going to have to fall back. Awunga has been doing a very good job as a setup player for a majority of this series. Now it's going to try to get it past not one but two defenders in the corner. Ball nearly falls in. Dogwater shutting down that top right bin before an attacker was even there. And to be quite honest, I'm a little bit surprised we didn't see an attacker there. Oh no, Hal again with space, with boost. Goes for the reset but has it taken away. Still 2:15 to go on the clock. And it's Jezza versus Nikod, but you got to be careful. You have another attacker across the middle. Awunga will play it off the backboard and gets it away from Dogwater. As we go back towards the backboard once again, Hal swing and a miss, unforced error. Not going to be punished immediately. Awunga now, space to work with, just needs one more touch, but couldn't quite get it before Superior was able to cut it away. Here we go. Ball caught by Superior again. Makes its way to that backboard. Hal watching from above. Looking to pass it back down to Awunga. Shot across the middle. It's going to be saved by Superior once more. Excited to see that flip reset. That'd be a fun one. Or ceiling shot. I think ceiling shots are typically a bit more effective, I've noticed. Or at least they have been in this game. As we do see Superior in that midfield. Going to throw it up over to Hal. Jezza from underneath. Again, opening, and that's going to be the go-ahead goal. 1:23 left on the clock. And it was the slow, drawn-out passing plays that I had been critical of in the past. They actually work eventually when you see BBC push too far forward. And the reason why it works is I'm going to go back to what I was saying at the end of game number 3. Sometimes BBC, they do get a little bit too aggressive, and it's that high-risk, high-reward style. Well, this time they get punished. I do feel that Martin Makos could have been a little bit faster on that counterattack, but I'm not going to argue with the 1-0 lead. I'm not going to be too critical right now. This is the team in the lead with 1 minute to go. We've seen 2 comebacks already in this series. Actually, I think we may have even seen 3, but we've seen 2 of them in the final minute. Do we see a third in game number 5? Pressure is going to be on BBC right now. Martin Makos, they are on the defense as Hal going to try to clear it across that midfield. Superior able to get there first, takes the shot, but not a lot of power behind it. Easy saving with a nice bump from Jessa behind. It doesn't look like this attack may be able to continue. In fact, it's going to be cleared all the way to the backboard by Hal, who got the second touch. Not accurate enough for a goal, but that's a weak defensive play. And Hal was almost able to make it punish. The other 2 defenders stay back, but it gets past the second. 1v1, a chance. Dogwater doesn't win that 50, as Superior will once again keep it forward towards that orange side. Eventually, we see the ball make its way to the corner. Clearing attempt looks pretty good. Dogwater's already missed it. Teammates bumping into each other, though. Jezza able to recover as we approach our final 15 seconds. Hal's going to put one on target. It's just a little bit high. And with that follow through, no goal scored. It's only 1 defender. Superior is going to have to make a Herculean effort to recover. That one gets the bump, and it's going to go in! Superior ties the game with 6 seconds to go. It looked like he was going to try to recover the shot, but at the last moment turns it into a bomb, just knocking Awunga well out of the way. And we got ourselves a tie ball game. 6 seconds remaining. Do we see the game 5 overtime? Regulation might end it, though, because Dogwater's got an opening, gets demo, and couldn't put that shot on target. 0 second play. I don't know about this one, but Hal's sticking with it. A chance to get underneath it. Dogwater looks to down it in the corner and does. And we go to an overtime. Oh, this series is delivering, and then some right now. 4 seconds into this overtime, and it is going to be possession taken by the Marston Makos as Howe looks to play it forward. Jezza with a chance, takes a weaker shot. It's a miss from Dogwater, but it's not going to be capitalized on. Awunga a little bit too slow to the play. That could have been a disaster, and now Dogwater actually has a chance for some mini redemption. Gets that ball up to the corner, but there's no follow-up attacker behind them. Nick God playing so far back right now. Looks to challenge on the wall, but lets the ball get ahead. Now in the corner, Awunga, pass back across, a little bit too far forward for Hal to find. Pressure still coming from the Marston Mako side. Hal going for that reset again. Finds Jess across the middle. It's off the post, and it's not in. So close, yet so far for the Marston Makos right now as Awunga again takes a shot, finds the double, and that's gonna do it in overtime. Game 5, Marston Makos survive. A late goal coming from the BBC Dappy team, but it's not gonna be enough. Superior's best efforts come up a little bit short in the end. However, they were pushed to the absolute limit. The Marsden Makos get this win. They win this series. And what a series that one absolutely was. We promised you some high-octane action today. I have to admit, that one delivered. A fantastic way to, bring us back to this HSL Season 3 Rocket League season. And as we take a final look at the results right there, yeah, the Marsden Makos 3-2 over BBC Dappy. But I have a feeling we haven't seen the end of either of these two teams because they each played so well. Ugh. I'm excited to keep this train going because we still got another game. We still got another fun match. We're going over to Conference A for our next one. Lakers Legends going to be taking on the SEC Wolfpack. I think we're going to have to throw to a break first, though, before we get too into it. I kind of need to recover myself. Normally, I just like to let the players get ready. This time, I'm just going to straight up say it's for myself. Got to get my voice back going. So, we're going to be taking a quick break. But when we come back, it's going to be Series number 2 on the afternoon. Some Week 2 action. You're not going to want to miss it. More HSL when we return.
Back to ya, back to ya. I need to stop coming back to ya, back to ya. I need to stop. Back to you. Back to you. Back to you. Back to you. stranger's addiction. I could say I'll quit without any conviction. Broke my own heart this time for believing that a ghost could find a body alive that hasn't seen the other side. So don't call me, I'll find something to escape my mind. What's the cause when there's no love lost between us? So burn the letters, there's a tragedy in every ember. In every ember. In every ember. In every ember. There's a tragedy in every You are my strangest addiction. I could say I'll quit without any conviction. Broke my own heart this time for believing that a ghost could find a body alive that hasn't seen the other side. So don't call me, I'll find something to escape my mind.
I always feel a little bit awkward for the players who have to, hit the pitch after a banger series, but here's to hoping we still get some of that same level action as we move to Conference A for our second match of the afternoon. It's going to be another best of 5 as we move to round 4, technically, of the season. TLC, the Lakers Legends, going to be taking on SEC Wolfpack. And while each of these teams have already played one matchup today, they've had very vastly different results, actually. Lakers Legends went up against the BBC Speedy Boys, where they did drop 0-3. Compare that to the like of the Wolfpack, who had a very dominant 3-0 victory themselves over OC Red. So technically, momentum should be a little bit mixed between these two sides. Maybe that's going to be an advantage for the Wolfpack. Maybe Lakers Legends are going to be more motivated than ever to come back, because this is a continuous team in this league, and throughout the seasons, Lakers Legends have always performed quite well. I do expect they are going to be looking to do so again right now, as I believe it's going to be time to give the players the go-ahead to jump on to the pitch and get ourselves rolling for our second series right now of the day. In fact, the timers are going underway. We are gone the pitch. Game 1 has kicked off. So we just get a little bit of radio college before we watch that first shot come from Din. And straight away, the Wolfpack are able to put one through. Did not take long at all in this situation. You can see the first defender takes a swing and a miss. Din gets a bit of a dunk. Duncan Din. And that's going to be a 1-0 lead as we get ready to go for our second kickoff. Perhaps this could be the start of something a little bit scary, because Din just got a second one in. And this is typically where, we fashion our seatbelts. We recline our ZQ racing chairs a bit and get comfy, because typically when teams get a hot start like this, they carry that momentum all the way through. Going to be a bit of pressure right now on the Lakers Legends side to try to find a way to bounce back as Rising tries to throw it back to Din once more. Not quite going to get it. Let's have a quick, chance to go through these lineups while we have a chance. Lakers Legends, they're going to be working with Sir Shaggy, as well as Didi Soy and MC Trent Cool. Meanwhile, for the side of the Wolfpack, it is Rising, Samp, as well as Din, who we have seen get a couple goals already in this game. Fortunately, it does look like we're going to have more of a traditional sort of third point in this one. No quick kickoff goals, but starting with 2 down, going to be a little bit painful. A real uphill climb coming for the Lakers Legends, who are also still looking for their first win of the day. They're not going to get it here. In fact, we're going to get our first own goal of the stream, as it looked like Didi kind of put it right back into the net. We'll see this one once more. Didi Soy Yeah, awkward touch trying to cross it up. Wound up own goaling it instead. There's always going to be one. And now 3 goals in. The Wolfpack very much in control of our opening game. We're not even a minute into this one yet. And they are in control of the situation right now. Didi Soy will clear it across the middle of the field, though. Perhaps we get to see a little bit of what the Lakers Legends can do when on the attack right now. Ball gets thrown back more towards the middle, but Samp will be able to go up for it, looking for that ground pinch. Doesn't quite find it, so Shaggy will slow it down. As we watch Didi Soy bumping teammates out of the way. Meanwhile, defenders are also bumping MC. Trent Cool leads for a dribble shot attempt. Not quite going to hit its mark. But if we're seeing communication breakdowns as well on the Lakers Legends side, I almost feel like this is, you know, very similar for those racing fans out there, what we saw at the last race of the Formula E series, where I forget the name of the driver himself, but he was one of the drivers competing for the championship, stalled in the 3rd grid position at the start of the race, just never got going, and wound up losing out and losing that championship. And right now we're kind of seeing that a little bit from the Lakers Legends. It's like they stalled in the opening grid, and they just haven't been able to get going, get that momentum out and on to the track, because right now everything kind of coming up Wolfpack. Still plenty of time left, though, in our opening game. Plenty of time to turn things around as McTrent Cool throws it back. Actually gets intercepted by Din. Din has been another long-standing player in this league, might I add. Been seeing them play for a good long while. Always been a force to be reckoned with whenever they are on stream, as we watch Din clear it from that corner, looking to chase it up to the opposite end. Won't be able to make that initial read. However, the follow-up from Samp gets close to going in the net. Didi Soy eventually does save and clear it out. Halfway through this game, a 3-goal cushion. Oh, the slow play almost worked. One defender did miss, and Samp, not having any of that, goes for the demo. And now we're looking, once again, possession in favor of the orange side. They double commit, though. Recovery by Samp, though. We'll press it forward, and Rising had already played it and cheated for it themselves, and now that will lead to, whoa, an awkward read from MC Trent Cool means that it's an open doorway for Din. They don't get the double touch despite the double commit. And they're unable to sort of double what would have been a 2-point lead, so it would have been the double-double lead, the 4-0. It's not too much coming yet, as a good pass at Didi Soy. Been in position, it could have been a goal. Unfortunately, Didi Soy felt that they kind of needed to rotate back. I don't think they were expecting that pass in that situation, so we'll credit that one to a bit of communication. Rising again back to the middle. No teammates are there with boosts available, so McTrent Cool was actually able to steal it off them, but they cannot make forward progress on the side of the Lakers Legends, despite coming up with some sort of unique angles and unique intercepts. Like, we have had the makings of good plays come through on occasion from the Lakers Legends side. I like some of the attempts that they're going for when it comes to these interceptions. They just haven't been able to follow them up consistently, and the team doesn't quite seem on that same page as of yet. That is why we play best of 5, so there will be other games for them to bounce back as we approach our final minute of game number 1. It is looking like it will be a victory going to the Wolfpack, however, especially if they stay on this attacking half, especially if they can find another goal. Din can't even find contact with the ball, though, as we do play it up through the corner. Rising has a look, has a swing, but cannot quite put it in, as eventually Din does, in fact, put it in. 4-0 lead now in favor of our orange side, as, yeah, just, what was that, a quad commit? I'm not sure if that was a triple or a quad commit from everyone, with, you know, no players actually making contact with the ball. End result still the same, 4-0 lead in favor of the Wolfpack. Hats off for the pack, looking quite good. Rising plays it forward into the corner. McTrent Cool going to try to create some space, going to try to create some depth, but only go so far with it as we watch Samp. Now another touch towards the net. McTrent Cool steals it away. Falling back, that's going to be Din. Now looking to play in that forward corner. Ball's going to fall in front of the net. An attempt to cross up is not going to be followed through entirely the way that I believe the Wolfpack wanted to see. Still 20 seconds remaining. That's going to be game 1, done and dusted. It's going to go in favor of the Wolfpack, who gets close to finding that 5th goal. That was a really nice save by Sir Shaggy. Able to read that pass play, and oh, well, that was an awkward read by Sir Shaggy. Not going to get punished this time. Din, though, keeping that ball still rolling towards the net. Not quite in it. And as we approach our final second to play, 0 seconds till we get one more goal. Din's going to keep it up and alive. Samp has a chance. Could have passed it back, but instead tried to take the shot themselves. And that's going to lead to the ball eventually hitting the ground. Wolfpack win the opening game 4-0, but they're up 1-0 in the series. look, I mean, the shots speak for themselves in that one. 12 shots to 0. Lakers legends, they came through with some pretty nice saves. Sir Shaggy in particular, 6 saves. That's pretty impressive. And by the way, Sir Shaggy saves 6 shots. That's a tongue twister for you right there. Sir Shaggy saves 6 shots. Sir Shaggy saves 6 shots. Sir Shaggy saves 6 shots. Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm not going to embarrass myself anymore with that. But still, very well played by the SEC Wolfpack. They do get that win. They looked dominant in doing so. They were the faster team. They were the more aggressive team, but they were also the more controlled team. We saw less double commits. We saw less teammates bumping into each other. In fact, I'm not sure we really saw any teammates bumping into each other on that orange side. And we also saw the playmaking abilities come from players like Din in particular, right off the bat, off of those kickoffs, just had those great challenged and solo touches. It's going to be a good set for them moving forward. Now, whether or not we see a sub come through, I do see Rothy, another long-standing player in this league, kind of sitting on the bench. Curious if they're going to get subbed in for our second game as we get ready to go. Players jumping right back onto the pitch right now, so too shall we for game number 2 in the beautiful stadium of Mansfield. Now, Mansfield's an interesting one. I did some research, actually. Some personal research, and feel free to check this out for all you Rocket League fans watching along. If you take a look at the surrounding city skyline, it seems like it's based off Singapore, but then when you look at the geographical area, it's more based off of Vancouver. And when you go based on what's happening on the pitch, Din finds a setup for Sam and puts the Wolfpack up 1-0 once again straight off the kickoff. So, yeah, I hope everyone's comfy. Again, my seatbelt was still fashioned after the first 2 kickoff goals we saw in game number 1. So I'm still settled in for what could be a bit more of a one-sided series. Hold on. Let me just fix up. There we go. Sam wanting that ball, but not able to follow it through. As we see Din. Actually, he's going to take advantage of a couple unforced errors, although Didi Soy gets there first, and I do like seeing that sort of forward positioning coming from the blue side. Shot, target, first shot of the series coming from the Lakers legends, and while it doesn't quite go into the net, it's good to see them actually get a shot on board early in the second game. Perhaps they're going to be able to find a couple more. Perhaps even they'll find a goal if they're able to keep this sort of pressure moving. Swing and a miss from Samp as we see Didi go for a late flick. It's going to be read by the defense as Rising was the one who stole that one away. Gets it all the way towards the backboard as well before giving up on that possession. Still 4 minutes to go, so I feel like we are going to possibly see at least 1 or 2 more opportunities come from this blue side. However, it really does feel like the tempo of this game has slowed down. A double whiff. Oh, that's not what you want to see coming from the Lakers legends. As that dunk had some spice to it. That's going to lead to a shot and goal. Give credit to the setup right there. The dunk from MC Trent Cool just got a lot of power behind it, and Didi Soy able to follow that one through and in. Really well done by the Lakers legends. Much needed goal for this blue side. They're going to get themselves back in the series. As we see Samp now cross up over to Din. Fair enough. Fair enough, Wolfpack. You let one by, and you strike back with vengeance. You had that shot knock on, and Rising as well, still sitting, waiting for an opportunity themselves had that ball been cleared to the corner. So it was going to be a 3-pronged attack coming at the Lakers legends, and they're not going to be able to find too much at the end of that. 3 goals scored already into the first minute and a half of this one. There's only 4 goals scored total at the end of game number 1, but there was pretty sure no goals scored actually in the entire second half of that game. Ball slowly rolling towards the net. Will be pushed out by MC Trent Cool as we go back up the other way. Pressure in front of the net. Oh, a pinch. Pops it up high, but not necessarily out of danger. MC Trent Cool jumping over Sir Saggy, so teammates get in each other's way. Not going to be a goal this time. Still going to be 3 minutes left on that clock, though, as we see MC Trent Cole put another one forward. Into the corner we go. Ball still being held up high, Rising. Clearing across the middle of the pitch. Sir Shaggy looking to fall back. Looks to play off that back corner as well as Din. Puts one up. Simp swings and misses. A swing and a miss from Sir Shaggy as well, as now we see Rising actually go for a challenge in the box. Here comes Din looking to follow through. No! Contact is made at least not on the ball. Does get contact on the demo through Didi Soy, but unfortunately for the Lakers Legends, they cannot push the ball right back across that midfield. Rising up in that corner, will spike it back down. MC Tranquil again looking to slow the pace. Didi Soy, swing and a miss, ball in front of the net, but no one's able to make that goal count. Sir Shaggy, shot, goal! In fact, as Sir Shaggy goes for a cheeky little cut right here and turns it into a point. You can see just like kind of gets bumped by Samp, but recovers it. Tie ball game, 2-2. Although every time this game has been tied, it has been a kickoff goal quickly going in favor of the Wolfpack. And again, off this kickoff, Din already putting pressure towards the net. As now we see Samp with a chance for a shot and Samp with a chance for a goal. Some things don't change. And whenever we are tied, you can just see the Wolfpack, they kind of stop playing with their food and they just strike quickly and efficiently. That has been, I believe, the 4th kickoff goal coming into a tie game situation. Sorry, it would be the 3rd, I believe. My apologies. The 3rd kickoff goal in one of these tie-break situations. Well, at least the 3rd kickoff goal in this game. So, yeah, the 4th overall. So, there we go. Yeah, 4 kickoff goals. My goodness. As we see more attacking pressure coming from the Wolfpack right now. Eventually, we will see pressure being taken by Rising all the way towards that backboard. Won't be able to find that next touch. But will be able to find, you know, still a little something. Still finding ways to keep the defense on the back foot. At least momentarily. Actually, a nice little clear coming through for the Lakers Legends. As they try to play that patient game. Din now going to play off that side wall, off the ceiling. Swing and a miss from Din. Rising now underneath. Backboards it over to Samp, who takes a shot. No! Rising! Getting in the way of their own team. You hate to see it, but at the same time, it is always kind of funny. Still a 1-goal game, but that could change with a shot from Din as it slowly fades its way into the back of the net. The lobber coming through, and I mean, it was only 55 kilometers per hour. Unfortunately, Didi Soy just unable to find the read on it. That's probably going to put this one out of reach, I would say, for the Lakers Legends. They haven't really showed consistent play yet, and wow. Did anyone actually go for that kickoff? Because Sir Shaggy was the one in position, and wow. Just kind of launched themselves a bit too high. Didn't get the flip. Normally when you're going for a flip kickoff, you got to flip. And unfortunately, Sir Shaggy kind of just jumped high twice. And that opened the doorway straight down the middle for the Wolfpack. Bit of an unforced error right there. It's going to wind up costing Lakers Legends even more of a lead in this game. Oh, it's a Rule 1. Not quite. Not quite. Looked like Din was looking for the Rule 1. Would have been nice to have. Would have been fun to have. You know, you always enjoy little situations like that. Instead, we're just watching Din across the middle of the field. Nearly make contact up in the skies, but not going to turn into a shot just yet. Din now, more pressure. Looking to watch that one sail off the post. One more touch to tap it in from someone, from anyone, and it will find its way through. But I think that came off a defender. We're going to have to watch this for a second time. As, here we go. Ball bouncing, barely in, and it comes off 2 defenders, and then Rising underneath was able to tap it in. So it wasn't an own goal. That's a small sigh of relief, I suppose, for the Lakers Legends. They avoided their second own goal of the series. But it's not going to do much as they, for the second time in 2 games, find themselves 4 goals at a deficit. Still 25 seconds left on the clock. So we could see one more goal, perhaps. Double the amount of points scored overall in our second game, which bodes for a very high-scoring Game 3 if this trend continues. But we're not even done with this one. Din on that breakaway. Going to make this 2-7. As we can see right here, yeah, just across that middle of the field, able to get enough power to push it in. 105. Get into the triple digits. Very nice to see. 17 seconds. And I'm curious now, how many more points will the Wolfpack be able to put through? Rising, backboard. Sir Shaggy swings and misses. Samp actually going to try to take things to the wall. Was maybe going to go for a cheeky little trick shot. Instead runs into a defender. Pass back over to Din. We'll keep that ball slow and controlled for that next play. Actually does not win out. And with 0 seconds on the clock, the ball will hit the ground. And the SEC Wolfpack are now 1 game away for getting their second clean sweep of the afternoon. They did it earlier against OC Red, and now they're poised to do it against the Lakers Legends, who just have not been able to really maintain any momentum. At least we saw 3 shots come out of the blue side, and, you know, with 3 shots and 2 goals, that is a 66% shot percentage, and that's not too shabby. All right, yeah, we can roll with that. However, I'd rather take 14 shots and 7 goals, which we saw from the SEC Wolfpack. A 50% shot percentage is also incredibly, incredibly high. So definite credit where it is due. The Wolfpack, it feels like this is another one of those series where there is a little bit of a skill differential. And for the Lakers Legends, this is not their roster of old. This is a new roster for the team. And perhaps they came in with a little bit of higher expectations just because of the success that the team has had with rosters in the past. But where they sit right now, they still got to go there. And this is a good learning experience for them. I mean, they're playing against a team that is looking poised to be one of the best in Conference A, which is kind of considered, you know, that top-tier conference right next to Conference B. They're the two high-tiered ones. We saw what the Conference B games are like, and they look very scary. I'd love to see what the Wolfpack kind of looks like against one of those teams. We're not going to be seeing that today, but perhaps when we get closer to the playoffs, if they're still in that position to make that playoff run, going to be exciting to see. Where it stands right now, we're going to be throwing it right back over to game number 5 right now. The players have jumped in, and so too has the spectator, and so too shall we, the fans of High School Rocket League, as we kick off game number 3. 5 minutes on the clock. We've seen a few kickoff goals in every single game. Din this time, though, instead of taking the shot, keeps it a bit up high. So no breakaway goal to be scored just yet. As we see Samp looking to play around over to Rising. Finds that setup. MC Tranquil, though, will follow through. A bit of contact from 2 of the attackers of the Wolfpack. Din, though, goes for the solo play. Got the bump, but didn't get the angle. As the battle bus has come out to play from Samp. And Rising gets the goal. And I'm happy Samp didn't get the goal because I am unhappy that Samp has decided to play the battle bus. And I've gone on this tirade before, so I'm going to keep this one abridged. The battle bus is less elegant of a flyer than the Scarab. I have nothing against Fortnite. We love Fortnite here at XP. But look at this thing. There's no elegance, no grace. It just flops and rolls around in the sky. It's just so aesthetically unpleasing as Din gets another goal in to put the Wolfpack up 2-0. Look, if you want to use the battle bus, that's fine. In fact, use the battle bus. Use it against players like me who will be thrown off just seeing it on the pitch. There's your competitive advantage right there. But compare that to some of the cars and styles that you see, like DD Soy in particular. I think also Sir Shaggy has a really nice looking car. Even McTrent Cool. Sick looking cars, right? Yeah, I love them. But you know what? We're not going to argue with results. Already 3 points on the board, less than a minute in, as Rising just goes for a bit of a drive, or in this case, a bit of a fly straight across the middle with the dribble play. And the battle bus doing, you know, its best to try and disrupt what would have been a piece of elegant Rocket League beauty. Can't wait. Can't do anything about it. All right. Anyway, spiel over. Back to the game at hand. Rising making defenders miss. Going to go for a late flick. Actually puts it off that top crossbar. And we're not going to see the follow through in just yet. As Rising right now from underneath. As Samp goes very, very high. Not going to come down with the play. Din, however, will. Off that backboard. But no one in the middle of the pitch means a chance. We could have seen a fast counterattack actually straight down the middle right there. A little bit unfortunate for the Lakers Legends that they're not going to capitalize on that situation. Now McTrent Cool goes for that play up the center. Taking it towards the backboard. Rising looks to push it back. McTrent Cool, though, gets a bit of space for themselves. Now flipping towards the ball. It gets touched through the corner. Din has a look, but not a proper touch. Rising does. As we continue to go back and forth right now. Rising now going to chase this one up through that corner again. The battle bus of Samp. Didn't quite get the power they were looking for. Rising back towards that middle. Here comes Din. I wonder if Din is a reference to The Legend of Zelda. Din's Fire. I'm curious. Rising. Oh, the fake plays out. And that's going to be a hat trick for Rising right there. A cheeky play. You can see just slows it up. Causes the defender in McTrent Cool to bite. And then sticks with the play enough to put it in. Those are the types of plays that will always throw off a defender at any level if you can execute them that efficiently. So well done to Rising right there, who wants to find another goal as well. 4th of the game off the kickoff. 5-0 lead, 3 minutes in. As we see this once more, you can just see just the kickoff going their way. The ball will find its way into the net. 5-point lead. I have to believe at this stage Lakers Legends might be out of this one. I don't know, just a hunch. 3 minutes to go, needing 5 points. They've only been able to put 3 shots on target throughout the entire series, so there's been more goals scored in the first 2 minutes of this game than shots in its entirety taken by the Lakers Legends. That's not a good time to be had at all, as we do see a little bit of a Samp play right now. Will get intercepted by McTrent-Cool, but more pressure being played forward. Eventually, the ball will make its way across midfield as the clock makes its way past mid-game. McTrent-Cool has been one of the better players, I do feel like, on the Lakers Legends. Has been constantly around on the plays. Not going to be around that one. As the battle bus gets a point on the board, it looks like a can of soft drink just being hurled at the ball, but it makes solid contact and puts it in off the post as well. A good goal from Samp right there. 6-0 lead in favor of the orange side. So, on that note, it's a little bit of the waiting game at this stage, unless we see what would be, I would call, the greatest comeback in Rocket League history, especially with a 7-0 lead right now. I just don't see this one happening. Although, 7-0, that does mean we have potential for the infamous Brazil scoreline. That's something to get excited about. Let's see if the Lakers Legends can make it happen. Can they give us a Brazil? They gave us 2 goals in game number 2, so we know they can put points on the board. Can they give us that Brazil? Will the Wolfpack allow it? Will their defense allow it? Because I'm not too sure they will. As we see straight away, that pass forward up to Din will slow it down midfield, trying to throw it back over to Samp. They're creating space. They're creating pressure. Touch through the corner. Not quite there as Didi Soy now forced to fall back. Din only can go so far with that one. 100 seconds left on the clock. 100 seconds to make this goal count. Everyone's thoughts, hopes, and prayers should be with the Lakers Legends to get that 1 point, to give us that scoreline that makes everyone chuckle for a bit and then realize how dead that joke actually is. But the slow play by Rising went so much further than it had any right to in that situation. And that's why even with sort of unique strategies being implemented by the Wolfpack, I still don't necessarily believe that we're going to get that point all the way through. Ball bouncing in the box. Shot from Din. Top right bin. And we're not getting our 7-1 scoreline. It's got to be 8-0 instead going into our final minute and 5. Definitely, again, out of reach. So let's take a look at the larger picture right now. Let's take a step back and sort of reflect on where these teams go from here. Because I am a little bit concerned for this new lineup of the Lakers Legends. I feel that in this conference, from what I've seen from the Wolfpack, they look good. They look very good, especially when challenged. You can see they know how to elevate, and you know how to make plays off of that kickoff. They kind of ease up on the gas at moments, I feel like, in the series, and that's all well and good. But I don't know how this team would compare based on what I'm seeing against other teams like even Mars and Makos or BBC Dappy. I feel like they would be super, super tightly contested. As we see, finally, a goal gets scored by MC Trent right here. Rising was again going to go for the slow play, but Din was the one who taps it over his teammate's head, and that will lead to a quick counterattack goal. Good job by the Lakers Legends. They do get one on the board. Just some other results, by the way, for those of you who, kind of curious how things went earlier as well in Conference A. We did see Speedy Boys get a win over the Irish Warriors. The Wolfpack, obviously, in this match right as well. And then, of course, TC Red was able to beat OC Red. Both of those other series victories have concluded 3-0 as Samp gets yet another one. And we actually could be on the precipice of a double-digiter all of a sudden out of the Wolfpack. And we're not going to get our Brazil scoreline, but we could get double digits. Here we go. 21 seconds. They've gotten enough kickoff goals. Expect it to come fast if they're going to get another one off that kickoff. Sam pushes it towards the net. Sir Shaggy misses. McTrent-Cool gets a touch. Enough to stop that second attack come through. But now here comes Din. Finds the angle. I told you it'd come quick. The Wolfpack gets double digits on the Lakers Legends. As we see this one, that is a very, very tight angle. And I don't even... Oh, it did touch. It did touch the side post. I can't give it a passing grade. Well, I can't give it a top marks. We'll give it a passing grade, though. Give that one a B. Solid B. Right in the middle. You can be impressed with that. 8 seconds to go. Din's going to look for one more. Trying to find Samp across. They don't make contact. One last chance for one last goal to be scored. Do they get the double-digit score differential? Rising's going to put it up. Sam's going to try to follow it through. Ball's going to fall in front of the net. And yes, we are. Din gets their 4th of the game to make it 11 overall for the Wolfpack. They win this series 11-1. Well, win this game 11-1. They win the series 3-0. Fortunately, we didn't watch 12 games of this matchup. We only got to see 3. Well, and maybe a little bit unfortunate we don't get to see 12 games of this matchup if you're a fan of the Wolfpack. But for the Lakers legends, it's time to head home, lick at those wounds, and see where they can go from here. For the Wolfpack, you take this momentum and you try to carry it as far as you can go, because they had a good day today. 2 clean sweeps, 6-0 on the afternoon. That's a good place to be as we see the results come to a close right now. Again, this was our 2nd series of the day. If you joined in earlier, you would have also seen an amazing series between the Marsden Makos and BBC Dappy. That one did go the distance. A Game 5 overtime actually saw the Marsden Makos win a series that had 3 separate comebacks in it throughout. I mean, that one is going to be one to remember. Especially if you are a Marsden Makos fan, you're going to be wanting to remember that. For Dappy, though, they'll have times and chances to bounce back. As for us, however, it is going to be that time of the afternoon where we say goodbye. But fret not, because we're going to be coming right back at you with more Rocket League. Not only more HSL in a week's time, but more Rocket League in and of itself tomorrow. As we know, the ECA didn't quite pan out as we would have liked, but there were still events scheduled to be played, and guess what? We're still going to play them here at XP. So we're going to have not 1, not 2, but 3 best-of-7 series, I believe, tomorrow, starting at 4 p.m. It's not going to be one you want to miss. Once again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors for this event. Of course, talking about EPOS as well as Computer Alliance, XPTGG, and ZQ Racing. Until next week, or in fact, until tomorrow. See you guys all out there on the pitch. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks.
Welcome back, John. Same room?
You look even worse than the last time. Hard finding the time to do anything for myself. with my job and kids, you know.
I sure do. We hear that a lot. Now, just relax.